Wow, guys, this government is like bipolar. The left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. Yesterday, I told you about how FBI Director Kash Patel let every gun-owning American down by not standing up for the Second Amendment when he was directly asked about an assault weapon ban and how it could possibly help end gun violence. Watch that video. I'll pin it above. There's no such thing as gun violence, just idiots who choose to hurt people. Well, now, in complete contrast, Harriet Dillon, the Assistant Attorney General, number 2 in charge at the DOJ, has submitted an amicus brief in the Third Circuit Court of Appeals. And the DOJ now admits that so-called assault weapon bans and magazine bans violate the Second Amendment. This is huge because they actually put it on paper and submitted it to the court. It's actually in the record now. Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, your premier source for Second Amendment news. Folks, what I'm about to share with you is monumental. For the first time ever, the Department of Justice itself has stood up and admitted the truth that so-called assault weapon bans and magazine capacity bans are unconstitutional. That's right. The DOJ just said these bans violate the Second Amendment. This is massive for our rights. And I'm going to break down exactly what it means for you, these consolidated cases that they submitted the amicus brief for other assault weapon ban and magazine ban lawsuits going on across the country, and for the future of our freedoms here in America. Stick with me because this one could be historic. Before I dive in, I want to thank the sponsor of the video, Blackout Coffee. And I want to tell you that effective yesterday, our investment campaign is live. Become an owner of Blackout Coffee. The link is down below. It's invest.blackoutcoffee.com and learn more. Help us move to the next phase and continue our growth and help us support freedom in the Constitution at the same time. Link is down below in the description. And remember, you can always order from us at Blackout Coffee, coffee, teas, and hot chocolates, and use code G and G10 to save all the time. All right, let's get into this. Let's start with why this matters. For decades, gun-controlling politicians have been pushing bans on rifles that they label as assault weapons, although they could never define that. They also want to put restrictions on magazines that they claim are high capacity. I mean, who sets the capacity limits? Not the government? Well, we know the truth. These are standard, commonly owned firearms and magazines used by millions of Americans for lawful purposes every single day. You don't get to see a lot of them in the media because oftentimes people aren't even reporting that they, warded off an attack. And also, the mainstream media doesn't want to tell people that guns on people are doing good. In fact, the DOJ even quoted the Snope case in this brief that I read, saying that Americans possess about 20 to 30 million AR-15s, and ARs are legal in 41 of 50 states, and they should be legal in 50. But here's the problem. States like California, New York, New Jersey, Illinois, Massachusetts, and the others have ignored the Constitution, forcing citizens to either give up their rights or fight endless legal battles. And until now, the Department of Justice was usually part of the problem, not part of the solution. But yesterday, the DOJ came out and said it clearly. Bans on modern sporting rifles and bans on standard magazines violate the Second Amendment. That is the government itself finally admitting what we've been saying all along. Shall not be infringed actually means what it says. Now, let's put this into context. Remember the Bruin decision in 2022? Can't believe it's been 3 years already. The Supreme Court said that any modern restriction on firearms must be evaluated against text, history, and tradition. What text, history, and tradition? Well, the text, history, and tradition of the Second Amendment when it was adopted and ratified. If there's no historical precedent for a regulation then, and cannot stand now. And guess what? There's absolutely no historical precedent for banning firearms that are in common use or for capping how many rounds law-abiding citizens can keep in a magazine. The DOJ just aligned itself with that reality. And at least on paper here in this case, they acknowledge that these bans don't pass the Bruin test. And they even quoted the Militia Act saying that people are supposed to are supposed to be armed with enough magazines or rounds or shot and enough powder and a knapsack full with extra stuff so that you are able to protect yourself, your community against threats, tyranny, invasion. I mean, the DOJ said it, but will the Third Circuit Court of Appeals heed the DOJ's brief and make the correct decision? That is the big question here. This is huge because it reinforces the fact that the Constitution protects what we already know. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Might not be infringed, not unless the government doesn't like the way it looks. No shall not be infringed. So, what does this mean moving forward? Well, hopefully this is a powerful influence for the court in these immediate cases that have been consolidated as 3 of them. And these are all New Jersey cases. It also should put an anti-gun state directly on notice. All the anti-gun states. California's so-called assault weapons ban, New York's SAFE Act, Illinois' magazine ban, Massachusetts' newest reban of everything we ban, plus more. Every one of those is now under even greater pressure in the courts because the DOJ has essentially said here in the Third Circuit that they won't hold up under the Constitution. Now, will Harriet Dillon do something similar in other cases that are challenging assault weapon bans and magazine bans in the other circuits? Subscribe to the channel to stay in the know, because we're going to find out together and I'll be the first to let you know about it. Think about it. The very institution that enforces federal law just told these states, you're wrong. Your bans are unconstitutional. That strengthens every lawsuit currently making its way through the courts. It gives pro-2A attorneys a massive weapon in the courtroom, and it makes it much harder for activist judges to ignore the Second Amendment. Well, we'll see. And as for us, the people, it means something even bigger. It means momentum is on our side. We've seen silencer taxes repealed. We've seen SB restrictions struck down this week for a certain type of firearm, and now they're going to make a lot more of those. We've seen case after case pushing back on unconstitutional laws. And now the DOJ itself has joined the chorus saying bans on commonly owned arms and accessories are unconstitutional. Let me put it plainly, if the government can ban one type of gun, they can ban all guns. If they can outlaw one size of magazine, they can outlaw every magazine. Now, this has never been about safety. It's always been about control. The DOJ admitting these bans violate the Second Amendment is proof that this Constitution is winning. But here's the thing, folks. This is not the time to sit back and relax. It's time to push harder. Contact your state reps. Contact your federal reps. Support these lawsuits. Support the groups bringing these lawsuits. There's links for some of them in the description of every single one of my videos. You just got to click it. And stay engaged. Victories only stick when we, the people, hold the government accountable. The Second Amendment is the backbone of the Bill of Rights. Without it, every other right is vulnerable. And today, even the DOJ had to admit the truth. Americans have the right to keep arms, and bans on rifles and magazines in common use are unconstitutional. Guys, stay safe, stay vigilant, stay engaged, keep spreading the truth. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below because I cover Second Amendment news every single day that the mainstream media refuses to talk about. Until next time, be safe, stay vigilant, carry a gun to keep you, your friends, your family, your community safe. It's on us. The government can't keep you safe. It's never kept you safe, and it never will keep you safe. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.